What's up, guys? Spenny. You know it's going to be an insane day when Dan Bongino just starts randomly Patriot posting without any context. Bongino this morning popped up at 8 a.m. God bless America and those who defend her with a little American flag emoji. Very rare use of an emoji for Bongino, who, well, I mean, it's not a criticism. Dan Bongino is doing some of the most important work in the country right now and is quite busy at the FBI. So when he does get to post, you have to assume that maybe it means something. President Trump says he's going to have a major announcement today. It is 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at time of recording, and we don't have that major announcement. But, well, I guess we'll see. Maybe they're connected, perhaps. Maybe this is the connection. Oh, no. What's going on with the Secretary of War? So the newly renamed Secretary of War, they even renamed the Twitter handle, SecWar. It's called the Secretary of War. It's called the Department of War now. Kick ass. Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, has convened a meeting of top U.S. leaders, military leaders, from across the globe. No details offered. Highly unusual meeting set for next week in Virginia in person, has fear looming of potential purge in the military. Hegseth has previously vowed to cut 20% of the top U.S. generals and admirals. Could it be that? Could it be something else? Secretary of War Pete Hegseth summoned all of his generals and admirals to an urgent meeting. A senior Pentagon spokesperson says, "I have never seen anything like this in 30 years. We might be going to war." So here Fox News is speculating that potentially this has to do with cutting the fat, as it were. Not a knock on General Mark Milley, but maybe it is. Other Pentagon correspondents saying that this may be the time that war is about to break out, and yikes, Hegseth summons all of the generals together. Confusion sweeps through ranks as nobody knows what's going on. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth has abruptly summoned hundreds of America's highest-ranking military officers to a rare closed-door meeting in person next week. He has offered no explanation for the surprise move, fueling speculation among top generals that their staff unaware of the purpose of the summit at the Virginia Marine Corps base. The order, first reported by the Washington Post, was sent out to the military's top leadership worldwide this week. It comes months after Hegseth's Pentagon staff reported plans to slash U.S. military senior ranks, cutting jobs by 100 admirals and generals. Hegseth called the move necessary to cut redundant force structure, continued streamlining the Pentagon's red tape jungle. In a statement today, Sean Parnell, the Pentagon spokesperson, confirmed the Daily Mail that the secretary will be addressing his senior military leaders next week. And that's it. Holy moly. He did not provide any further details about the meeting. 800 generals and admirals are stationed across the U.S. and around the world, spanning virtually every country on Earth and all time zones. According to the insiders, Hegseth's new directive targets all senior commanders, ranked brigadier generals, and above their top enlisted advisors, many of whom lead large formations of troops. Two sources familiar with the situation confirmed to the Daily Mail that top-ranking officers from active conflict zones and key regions in the Middle East, Europe, and Asia are all coming back to America to meet with Hegseth. Former Pentagon source tells the Daily Mail that he can't remember the last time this has happened. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't tell you the last time this happened, the source said, adding that this isn't exactly protocol. Expect the unexpected with Hegseth's Department of War. Another former Pentagon official with 40 years of experience noted that an in-person meeting is odd considering investments into secure military communications. We have invested billions of dollars into bandwidth and worldwide connectivity. It must be very important for Hegseth to want something to be done in person and not over teleconference. Teleconference, I mean, we already know that they were using Chinese engineers, to monitor all our communications. So obviously harder to hack an in-person meeting in, a SCIF is what they're called, right? If you were able to have like a secure bubble that can't be hacked, that's where classified work gets done. I assume this is where this meeting will be. I'm sure it will leak soon. Former CNN national security correspondent speculated that the meeting could be to stage a photo opportunity to feature Trump surrounded by generals as he touts the work towards achieving peace. Okay. But what do you know? The Washington Post reported that the key government figures are developing a fresh national defense plan that prioritizes protecting the homeland, replacing China as the chief security concern after years of emphasis. Sources familiar suggest that the shift could be a topic of discussion at the upcoming meeting. The new directive comes after several significant changes for Hegseth, including removing top-level officials, renaming the Department of Defense as the Department of War, slashing the number of generals by about a quarter. Recent dismissals as part of the continuing sweep through the echelon of the defense system. Okay. So no one knows. The answer is no one knows. So this article has three speculations. Fox News is speculating here, and everyone else is speculating. The Pentagon pizza tracker is saying that we're going to war. This is an amazing count. I encourage you to follow it. It tracks when pizzerias near the Pentagon are reporting really high, above average traffic. What that means is like everyone at the Pentagon is ordering a pizza because they're going to be working late into the evening. And the Pentagon pizza tracker predicts when there's going to be something big happening. Rare urgent meeting. Generals and admirals. Good time to pray for peace, says Mike Lee. Everyone's buzzing about this. What could it possibly be? Well, Pete Hegseth, before he became the Secretary of War, said all of the woke generals must be fired immediately. Is this part of it? Is this part of what is going on? I mean, I'll play it for you. Maybe that's what's going to happen. This is in El Salvador. The president of El Salvador, Nayib Bukele, gathers every single official in the executive branch and his government, and then announces as a surprise, he asked his attorney general to investigate all of them for bribery. So he gathers everyone in his government, and then he goes, you're all under investigation. Is that what Hegseth's going to do? It's a total alpha move. Joey Jones, super rad dude. He's veteran. He's on Fox all the time. Perhaps you know him. Pretty famous vet. Spoke with the Pentagon. This meeting is a speech from the Secretary of War to all of his commanders. They want them to stay on mission, but it's just a speech. It's a speech from the Secretary of War. Well, again, you're not giving me a lot of information there. I can tell you that, like, there have been things heating up with Russia. Russia says no choice but war after Trump U-turn on Ukraine. Europeans tell Russians they're ready to shoot down all of their jets. Trump says that Russia's economy is on the brink of collapse. Kremlin blasts fuel exports until the end of the year. Russia's supply is disrupted by Ukrainian drones. Europe is ready for direct conflict with Russia. Russia's mounting economic woes could force Putin's hand. Okay. And so on and so on. Europe is at war with Russia, whether it likes it or not. And so on. So we'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see. I will end with this clip from Sean Ryan's podcast, where Pete Hegseth describes a situation where he gathers all the generals together and fires them. The woke generals together and fires them. So maybe this is what's going to happen. Please let it be the case. Here we go.
There's a chance to course correct it, but it would take the new Trump administration going after it really hard.
How would they correct it?
Well, first of all, you got to fire. You got to fire the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, and you got to fire this. I mean, obviously, you're going to bring in a new Secretary of Defense, but any general that was involved, general, admiral, whatever that was involved in any of the DEI woke shit, has got to go. Either you're in for war fighting, and that's it. And that's the only litmus test we care about. You got to get DEI and CRT out of military academies, so you're not training young officers to be baptized in this type of thinking. And then, whatever the standards, whatever the combat standards were, say, in, 1995, let's just make those the standards. And as far as recruiting, to hire the guy that, did Top Gun Maverick and create some real ads that motivate people to want to serve. And there's lots of other ways in which you could identify who gets promoted and what, but there's an ethos change. I mean, there's a reason people don't want to serve, because they don't trust that their senior leaders are going to have their best interest in mind in combat. I know there were mistakes made on our tours all over the place, but I, at least for the most part, had a sense that my senior leaders were committed to the completion of the mission for the right reasons. And maybe there were strategic differences and all that other stuff, and it wasn't always perfect, but that trust is broken. And you have to reestablish that trust by putting in no-nonsense warfighters in those positions who aren't going to cater to the socially correct garbage.